All right, so I'm making a video on how to get started on a different emulator server called Evolve. I've made a few videos from other servers, Beyond and Legends, and lately I've been playing on Evolve because it's different, it's unique, it's kind of got a blend of the original skill system and the later NGE version. It's kind of like they took the NGE skills for all of the classes and made them into tiles and dumped them on a table and mixed them all up into the original professions as close as they could. So I'm on the test server because I already have all my character slots used on their normal server. And I'm going to make a character called Noob 101 because why not? They have a bunch of other character classes or races that some servers do and some servers don't. Really depends on which ones you're used to. There are a lot more male alien race options than female race options. And that's really supposed to be Night Sister, not Night Brother. But it's a small server, so you kind of gotta be willing to just roll with some of these things as they pop up. Um, like I said, this is really just for a video, so yep. Now, one of the things that they did on this server is they redid a lot of the color palettes. So even haven't played around with all the choices, but if I understand it correctly, they basically made every colorable item in the game have all of the color options. So if that's important to you, you might want to check this out. All right, so we're going to move this up to here and then put it, no, I'll just leave it there. Sigh. Nooblet. We'll just change it completely. So yeah, speaking of the colors, as you go through, I mean, you're going to see like weird color choices. This is not the normal color for these outfits. Um, the default colors were changed. Some of the NPCs are still very colorful like this, and even some Han Solo in an area or two has unique color schemes as well. And we're just going to leave this all there. So the reason I'm doing this is to kind of go over the skill tree system and some of the differences that you're going to see. Because if you're just getting into this, it's not going to be super apparent on how to get started. And we're going to need this one. That one. Yeah, we don't need that one. We don't need that one. All right. So one thing you're going to notice is you don't start off with any credits at all. 0 credits, 0 cash. Your inventory is boosted to 160 items. If you started with a backpack, you'd see that that was also boosted to a larger than normal item count, going to learn the ITV, going to learn this, and then the rest of it's not really important. So unlike other servers where you have to take quests to get XP, or you can take missions from the terminals to get XP, this server uses XP as a means to get expertise points, just like on the normal NGE servers, but you have to kind of work backwards from what you want. So, for example, if you want to do a bounty hunter character, you have to first start with marksman, and then you're going to get up to the whether you want to use pistols or rifles or heavy weapons. Bounty hunter, it's and also you have to make sure that you click on the one you want a couple different times, because you can click after you click on bounty hunter, you'll see all the bounty hunter stuff, but if you click back to marksman, it won't change. So you have to click to carbineer and then go back to marksman in order to get to the proper screen. It's just a weird system, and it's just how it works. So, it's just one of those things you have to pay attention to. So if you click here for novice bounty hunter, it'll tell you what you need. Requires a ranged or melee weapon skill to be mastered. So pistolier, rifleman, assassin, even heavy weapon specialist, fencer, pikeman, swordsman, martial artist, all of these count toward this. But before you can do any of these, you have to do either brawler or marksman. So you can do one of a couple things. And also there's no cost to learn these skills. Once you get the XP to get the expertise points, you just click it and learn it, and it doesn't cost you anything. So there are, and you also want to do claim or flash for your flash speeder, because you're going to need that also, and it's free. And I'm not paying too much attention to placing these things because it's the test server. And I'm also not going to use the frog. So as you can see, looking around Mos Eisley, it's different. It's missing a row of buildings here. There's some NPCs for different types of tokens here. There's very helpful NPCs over here. You can get your space parts from cache. It's a rebel token vendor. Cantina's over here. And then the bank. So over here at the bank and the bazaar are additional token vendors for the token system on this server. World Boss, event tokens, trader tokens. Trader tokens are pretty easy to earn. Craft anything, it doesn't really matter what, and you don't have to pay attention to quality level. It can be any random garbage that you craft, and you get a chance at a token, and there's a lockout timer of 5 minutes between tokens. There are additional token vendors over here. There's a BH token. There's kind of a custom bounty, player bounty system here. There's like the standard one, and then there's the second layer on top of that that's optional. Daily login rewards. You get a token every day you sign in. You also get daily tokens for some of the daily, for some of the dailies. And then there's a force ranking system token vendor for advanced Jedi activities. The advanced player bounty system and the advanced Jedi system place you open to player PvP at a pretty consistent and continual rate. So if you're looking for PvP and you unlock a Jedi, which is easy to unlock, that would be how to say, hey, I want to do PvP all the time, join the FRS, do the optional second layer player bounty system. If you like PvP, it'll be fun. There's also no penalties for death in PvP battle. They kill you, you die, you respawn right where you died. There's no buff loss, there's no penalty, there's no nothing. You just get in, Captain died, they get a token, and you get up and can go about your business. So there's really no downside to it. And I'm saying this as somebody who generally doesn't like PvP. There's just no downside to it. But anyway, this video is going to be more than just me rambling. I'm going to show you the extremely quick way to get up to 90. And this is, you don't have to kill womp rats outside Mos Eisley, you don't have to take missions, you don't have to do anything except go to Mustafar and take a couple of missions. And there are additional planets being worked on. Some of these are not live. So yes, I'm actually seeing that map for the first time. And since this is the first time I've gone to Mustafar on this character, we gotta wait through the intro video. So one other thing that every character gets is a sprint right off the bat. You don't have to unlock it, you don't have to do anything, it's just there in your skills. And it's here. So we're just going to move that there. Like a basic heal, which you're not going to need for this because these first two missions are non-combat. That didn't work. Sometimes it misfires and it doesn't work. So we'll just have to run down. But anyway, if you're familiar with the first two introduction quests on Mustafar, it's run down to the south side of the island that we're on. Click on a clicky and you're going to get a bunch of XP, and you can get up to 90 if you choose a couple of specific routes. Yeah, we don't care. You can read all these yourself when you do this quest. Now, the other thing that you're going to want to do is, before you get down and click on the clicky, you're going to want to choose which... Yep, I'm going the wrong way. If you were yelling at your screen saying you're going the wrong way, you are correct. I was going the wrong way. Because I'm talking instead of doing. But anyway, you're going to want to equip the weapon that you're going to want to use. So if you want to use pistols when you are level 90 and you're at your spec, then you want to equip pistol because you're going to get pistol XP in addition to combat XP. If you want to use rifles, there's a level 1 rifle that you want to equip before you click on the clicky. So again, be aware of what you want to use before you go down there. And you get one of each weapon to start with. Normally, I do pistols or commando, or even unarmed for Terakai. But I'm just gonna stick with pistols. And I'm sorry, this is a long video. It's just, unfortunately, I'm not gonna bother editing it, trying to speed it up. I'm just gonna put this thing on cruise control and drive down there and try to talk more about the server on the way. So I joined this server after playing about a year on Beyond. And I didn't abandon Beyond, but I was looking for something else. You know, I like to build up characters, and I had built up a crafting quote-unquote empire on Beyond in a year. And that's my end game. I'm not into combat or running hard modes or, you know, any of that stuff. It's the crafting thing that I like. And I had been told that the crafting and the skill system as a whole was different here. And that's why I joined, because it's different and I like learning and seeing what different people do with their servers. This server is a lot of fun. They have world boss runs the same way that Beyond did when I first started there. Beyond had 4 world bosses. Evolve has 10. And it takes a little over an hour to get through in a big group. The group sizes here on Evolve are 32 people. And, yep. So it fills up the whole side of your screen. But it's a lot of fun. Everybody gets in voice on Discord, and you know, it's not a college frat environment like some Discords are, but it's still fun. Personally, I don't like the frat boy thing that comes out in a lot of cases, but you know, a lot of people do. It's not for me. This server really doesn't have any of that, and I like that. The group activities is also how you earn credits here. So a lot of servers, AFK farming is an effective way to earn credits, especially at the start. I mean, you'll get people doing Frosh Bunker AFK groups, and you can get loot and you can get credits, and it's a way to build up some credits when you first start out. You can't do that here and earn credits. Every mob that you kill drops a single credit. That's it. Still get the loot. You can still sell it to the junk dealers. There is a daily limit of 250k per toon per day. So, and you can log all your characters simultaneously. All right, so here I'm at the first clicky. I'm double checking to make sure that I have the pistol. All right. Yeah, I have to get closer. So now you can see I've maxed out my combat XP. I got a lot of pistol XP. So now I can start going through and using the expertise points. So I've got 135 available points. So I'm just going to kind of randomly pick some. It's test center. I'm doing this as a demo, not to like actually try to build a serious character. Pistols. All right. So that took me to 17. I'm going to go to Pistolier. Now, this is really your first two special attacks, this one and this one. And you can master Pistolier with just doing this middle line. Now these are higher versions of that, and also give you damage for that particular attack. Same with this. You don't need it at this point, because now that you, and let me close this and I'll reopen it and you'll see it update. So now you can see where your points are. Now you can go to some of the more advanced ones. I mean, I don't know, let's just do smuggler. Now you can do all these, you can become a smuggler. You can get some doctor healing skills because that uses combat and not pistols. This one is for all of your buffs, which honestly you don't really need. There are a lot of people who have buff bots, like actual droid companions that you can call and they'll buff your group. This is actually one of the most useful doctor skills, healing skills in this game, which is weird, but and again, I'm not really paying attention to the build right now. I'm just kind of putzing around. But you can see that each level takes a certain number of points, and that's just like the normal NGE. Let's see what else to go into. Let's do commando. So now with those points in commando, you're gonna have 8,000 innate armor protection just by itself. I'm not even wearing any armor, and it's already better than any crafted armor in the game. Mixing and matching here lets you do stuff that you can't do on any other NGE server, period. There's a level of customization, and I've said it before, and it's just insane. Smuggler has some down here also, and Tarakai has it right here. So now it's at 9,000. And again, I mean, I'm at level 76. I'm almost at 90, and I still have a ton of XP to choose from. Now you'll notice that I'm spending points in commando. It's using combat XP and not heavy weapon XP. And yeah, again, I'm getting into the habit of actually looking at the build, but that's not really the purpose. Assassin has a lot of the spy combat, and it's kind of good for just enhancing all of the other combat by adding extra damage or defenses that work for all weapons. Now, Grenadier is the only thing that you can't really, well, because at some point I think it switches. Nope, I guess it doesn't. It all uses combat XP. Or Grenadier, however it's pronounced. It's a video game. Like I said, I'm not really even paying attention. So yeah. So there's that. Now I don't need any more pistol XP, so I'm going to switch to heavy weapons. Now, also, rather than drive back to Men 6, I'm going to do the ITV. Now, one of the couple things you're going to see under this travel tab: call for pickup, which is the ITV. Return home. This is something that's custom to Evolve, and everybody gets it. It will take you to the house that you have claimed residence at. So if you put a house and you claim residence on it, this will take you back there from almost anywhere in the game. This is Return to Mos Eisley. That's an ITV. It'll take you right back to Mos Eisley, pretty much no matter where you are in the game. ITVs also will drop almost anywhere in the game. You can be in the middle of Mos Eisley and your ITV will drop, and you can travel just like you can on any other server, except they make you go outside of city limits before you can use it. On this server, anywhere in the city, period. All right, so to get to the second part of this quest, click on the air filters. And again, I'm sorry, this is going to be a boring video, but hopefully you'll learn stuff about this server while I'm taking you through it. And at this point, you don't even really need to do the second part of the quest. You could save it for down the road if you want to switch professions or switch builds. I'm just going to do it just to get it done with, because why not? All right, yep, here it is. Like, I know this is around here somewhere. Now, one thing about this server compared to others, now I typically have really only played on Legends and Beyond, so when I say others, I really mean those two. The different types of ITVs that you'll see on those other two servers are not available here. And what I mean is, there are no Cloud Car ITVs, there are no AT-AT Head ITVs. None of that exists on this server. So you don't have travel houses. You don't. There's only a couple. The G9, which is from the Sirens, Secret of the Sirens quest, is available. The Hoth Snowspeeder is available. And the Slave 1 ITV is available. Now, the Slave 1 ITV is done through the Bounty Hunter token system. So you have to participate in the second level of the player bounty system in order to get the Slave 1 ITV. The Hoth ITV is the same as always, with tokens from doing Rebel and Imperial Hoth. Where are the other two air filters? They should be around here. And oh, here's one. Okay. Guess I just didn't go far enough. And I see the other two, but now I'm just missing the fourth. Now, I started this server in August of 2025, and I made characters, and I did this like all back to back. So I did it like all at the same time. And this is never taken me quite this long, but like I said, it's been a good 6 months since I've done this. Ah, here it is. Okay. Now, again, I could do the ITV and it would take me right to Mensix, but it's just up the hill and you guys are probably skipping around on the video anyway. Honestly, there's not a whole lot more to this to demonstrate the way to level up. And as you can see, this is not a way to get credits either. When I turn this quest in, I'm only going to have 10,000 credits. I'm going to have no armor. Don't really need armor, but I won't have any. You're going to need it to get 35s and for stats and everything. But as far as protection in the game, you won't need crafted armor or reward armor or anything like that. What you will need, however, credits, to buy things. And again, that's done through group events, the world boss runs that I mentioned. If you go through the whole 10 world bosses, you're going to walk away with roughly 3 million credits. And they do that 3 times a week right now. And then I'm going to click the little return to Mos Eisley. And this is where you end up. Now, usually, because right now I've got a level 1 weapon and I've got 10,000 credits. So usually you can go to the Mos Eisley Bazaar and pick up a level 88 or level 90 weapon, for pretty cheap, or find one also for pretty cheap on a player. So let's see. Yeah. So because you can mix and match skills, your characters are very powerful. You can solo a lot of the stuff here that you can't on other servers. You can solo Sherkar very easily here. You can solo the Beetle Cave very easily here. You can log 3 or 4 combat toons and make macros and run Sherkar and the Beetle Cave in your solo group and get 100,000 credits per character. You get tokens on each character for a lot of the old content. No pistol. So let's see. Vendor, weapon, pistol. So, yep, Mustafarian modified disruptor pistol, 1,000 credits. You can go there, can get this, and you can use this to earn credits and then slowly improve your gear. All of these things are under 10,000 credits because people know that's generally what you start with. And even like the level 90 weapons, again, if you look at the DPS and you're familiar with NGE servers, this is not the normal DPS. This is more than what you normally get, and it's just because the crafting system on here has more experimentation points. It's just how this server works. Weaponsmiths, as an example, can get 17 points to play with instead of 13. And it's not difficult to get to. But anyway, that is that. There's so much more to this server. If you're interested at all, look for their website, join the Discord, and take a look around.